Most WNBA parlays are people forcing main lines that the books give them. I use the WNBA alternative line tool to drop that number to a safer line that those players have hit 5, 10, 15, and 20 straight games in the exact spot that they're in. I use the WNBA alternative line tool. That way I can find safer lines when I'm building my parlays and pair a few of those together instead of forcing main lines. So let me show you how you can use this to find high hit rate props when you're building your WNBA slips. Inside the WNBA alternative lines tool, I'm going to show you how you can use this to find the best alternative lines as well as the best streaks each and every single day. So we'll see here, we've got all the different players on streaks. We got 20 game streaks, but what I like to do is narrow this down so we're actually looking at bettable streaks, bettable odds. Now, nothing wrong with minus 900 or minus 710 odds, but I like to go to minus 400 odds or better because those are much more bettable lines. And so we can sort here by streaks if we want to look at streaks. So Angel Reese has had 10 plus points in 19 straight games. You can get that today at minus 300 odds. So a decent line to look at. And also it's important to look at the defensive rank that they're playing. So they might be on a streak, but some of these, such as A'ja Wilson, she is facing the #1 defense, which is Atlanta, so far this season. So you can see here also the head-to-head history. So away at Atlanta, which is the situation they're in, she is 1 for 1 in that situation. So she's done good in the spot that she's in. However, you still want to take into account those defensive rankings. And these defensive rankings are specific to how that team defends that specific stat versus that specific position. So you don't want to look at just an overall defensive rank. You want to look at how much, for example, A'ja Wilson, how many points does Atlanta give up to centers? And so we're able to narrow that down and look at that. We also can sort by games. We could do last 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, full season. And we can also refine the odds. If we wanted to do minus 200 odds or minus 150 odds, we can change that as well. We also can sort if we want to play overs, for example. We can go to weak defense so we can see who has the easier matchups. And you also can look at the head-to-head. I always like looking at the head-to-head. So we know Courtney Williams, for example, at home for Chicago is 2 for 2. So you want to make sure that not only are they in a good spot, maybe that defense that they're playing isn't great at defending that specific stat, but they've also done it versus that team in that specific situation. Certain players are going to play better at home in certain arenas or away in certain arenas or versus certain teams. So always good to look at that. We can sort by minimum streak. We could also do just stats. If we just want to look at points, we click the points, and these are the players that are triggering under all the filters that we have. So you can narrow down the board each day and find the best streaks. We also can do this for teams as well. All you have to do is click over to the teams tab and it will have those alternative lines as well for teams. So what you could do with this is you could build alternative line parlays. So maybe you want to put together 3 minus 300, minus 350 plays, maybe 2 minus 200 plays to get around even odds. So instead of taking a player's main line, you can take 2 safer lines that they've hit time and time again, and helps narrow down the board, especially if you like playing streaks. This is a great way to find all the best streaks in the WNBA each and every single day and really narrow down that board. So that's how I use the WNBA alternative line to find streaks and lines that players have hit time and time again based on the situation that they're in. If you want to try this out for yourself, click the link below, create a free data streak account, try out the WNBA alternative line tool along with all the other tools on the platform that I talk about in my videos.